So we've been starting on time. Isn't that exciting? So if you're not on time, you're late now. So happy Tuesday. We have Tuesday Talk January 31st today, the last day of January. Tomorrow's the first day of February. And I'm going to turn things over to Chris to talk about any updates with the board.
Well, we don't have any updates today, but we have Judy Studebaker, who has an announcement about the scholarship fund. Which is important.
Good morning, and if you're new, Regency Oaks has a scholarship fund. And we started off about 7 years ago, and we gave everyone who applied $1,000. And it's a nice thing. Then every year since then, we've had more money. Last year, we gave two $10,000 scholarships. So we continue to grow. And this year, in the past, it's only been for associates. This year, we're adding children of associates will be eligible. So, and we really look forward to having people who want to go to tech school, beauty school, barber school, as well as college. And we have had both. Arlie, who is here, some of you know, got a scholarship and was certified as an air conditioning mechanic. And we had one before that, who's no longer with us, that was certified as an air conditioning mechanic. As a matter of fact, he is now working for the subcontractor who did the air conditioning for our new building. So he's very grateful also. And the applications can be picked up beginning tomorrow. They have to be turned in by May the 20th, but you'll be getting stuff in your box about if you would like to give a donation over the next several months. Did I cover it?
May 10th.
May 10th, yeah, is the last day to turn them in. Oh, and we have a very sorry about that, Chris. we have a very nice presentation ceremony, which will be the first Saturday in June. Samantha has received scholarships too. So.
Thank you, Judy. Does anyone have any other announcements they wish to make? Oh, you got it?
This also has to do with the scholarship fund. Next week, I'm going to be selling little containers of candy. They are all decorated with hearts on them so that you can give them to your sweetheart or your friends or whomever. And I will be here on Tuesday for the Tuesday Talk. I'll have them. They're $3 each. They each contain some very nice candy inside, and there's like 6 pieces. We did this last year and it was very successful, so we're trying again this year. So come with your money to buy a box of little bit of candy to give away as a little gift.
And all proceeds go to the scholarship fund. There you go. Okay, Betsy.
All right, so thank you. That's exciting. So if you have lots of Valentines, bring lots of cash, okay? So first of all, I guess I'll address too that Lindsay is not here today, or she's here with us in the building. She's not here at Tuesday Talk. And that is because we did have a corporate meeting that was scheduled for this afternoon that they called this morning and said, we're going to be early. We're going to be there at 9 o'clock. So we may see her with the ownership and leadership of LCS. But I apologize, she's not here today. We'll try to address anything. This is the Tuesday Talk presentation she put together. And hopefully, if you have any questions, we'll get back with you. So our first slide is the IHS update. Right now, they do have a table over here in the Grand Lobby South. So if you guys want to swing by, say hello to the team, ask any questions that you have. So Leslie, you want to talk about COVID?
Morning, everyone. Leslie, Resident Services Director. So here we are
update on this slide that we only have 3 positive cases of COVID for residents in our buildings. So we had a good amount of recovery, so we're doing well. We started the Friday Call the Mall updates where we inform you about the numbers in each building as well as how to obtain a COVID test over the weekends. Updating our COVID testing that you need to remember if you are experiencing any symptoms or wish to be tested during the weekends, you're welcome to come down to your north or south desk. The front desk receptionist will hand you a COVID swab for you to swab the inside of your nostril 5 times. It's a normal rapid test that occurs, so you're just going to the lower area of your nostrils and then you're passing over the COVID test, and they are then administering the control to see your results. But while you're waiting for the results, you'll head back up to your apartment and wait the 15 minutes while the front desk will then call you for your results. And then if you are positive, it is a 10-day quarantine that you're placed on, and then the wellness nurse or myself will follow up with you on Monday to review where you're at on your isolation, how your meal deliveries will continue, and your housekeeping and maintenance that will pause for the moment, and you'll have your isolation letter and who to contact if you are needing anything for BFIT's wellness or housekeeping. So I wanted to review our isolation protocols for spouses, because there's times it can be a case-by-case basis on how we do isolation for that. But usually when we have one spouse test positive, you will be under isolation, both of you. We will test your other spouse. If they are positive, they're under isolation. And if they're negative, they're still under isolation. We are monitoring both of your symptoms, and we'll test the spouse after a few days, or if we start to see symptoms, whichever comes first. You both will, if the second spouse is still negative, you'll still be under the isolation with your positive spouse. But if you do end up being positive and you're the second spouse, we'll be extending the isolation a few days, or depending on when your symptoms started and tested positive versus how long you've already been in that isolation. So if it's day 7 of your 10-day isolation, well, we'll be extending it 7 days for that second positive spouse. But that first positive spouse, by that 10 days or 10 days from their symptoms start, they're out of their viral shedding time. So that means they're able to go out in the community and they're not viral shedding the virus. So they'll be able to come out of isolation after the 10 days, but that second spouse that tested positive later will remain in isolation.
Okay, I'm gonna stop and let's do questions, because I want to make sure everybody's understanding this.
Okay, perfect, yes. Questions?
I've had somebody ask me,
I'll repeat the question.
I've had somebody ask me if the isolation delivery meal is in of their 12 that they get for the year.
Great question. So she was asking if your isolation deliveries coincide with your 12 free sick or medical reason deliveries. They are different. So if you are on isolation due to COVID, those are specific COVID delivery free meals. They do not get combined with your 12 free. They are separate. Yes, Judy.
I wasn't aware of this until we got charged. I'm gonna have to get those charges taken off. You have to tell them every day that it's COVID related.
So you don't have to tell them every day. All of our, okay, all right. So every department that is affiliated with the COVID, be it's housekeeping, maintenance, or dining, they are given the isolation list. Unfortunately, there might be times that it is charged inappropriately, and we will get it taken off for your next future statement. Yes, John?
Any future booster shots planned?
Yep. So at this time, we don't have any future booster shots scheduled with Department of Health. When we do have it out, we will let you know, but there's nothing in the next month or two so far.
What if you didn't receive a call them all?
If you didn't receive a call them all, let your front desk know, and we will get you added on they will be informing Betsy or I to get you on the call them all.
Any other questions? Okay. Oh, I do have a couple more comments.
Our regular prevention, I should have a little tune I wish I could sing for you all to help you memorize. But just make sure, please wash your hands as often as you can with soap and water. Make sure you're getting a lot of frictions. And, that 20-second minimum for washing with water and soap. Stay 6 feet away when you are if you are experiencing any symptoms. Don't touch your eyes or mouth with unwashed hands. Make sure to wear your face cloth your face cloth. Your face mask whenever you're needing to. Avoid crowded spaces and social gatherings. And please, as always, if you are having any flu-like symptoms, let myself or the wellness nurse know. And please follow up with your primary care provider in regards to guidance if you are positive for the virus, because they're the ones that know you specifically with your medical history and your medications, knowing what treatment course you should take for you specifically. We are here to give you guidance, but your primary care physician is your go-to for you specifically. And know your symptoms. We have our cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, fever, sore throat. You might have a dry or a productive cough, fatigue, headaches, body aches, muscle aches, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, as well as a potential newer loss, smell or taste disorder.
All right, so any more questions related to COVID, I guess? All right, it looks like you're all set, Leslie, thank you. All right, so housekeeping updates. We did have Clearwater Carpet here in the building to do their scheduled carpet cleanings. I guess their machine broke down, so they had to stop, and they're rescheduling to come back with us again. We will let you know the next time that they will be back in the building. That's this Wednesday and Thursday. They're supposed to be in the main lobbies, and then the private dining rooms and the main dining rooms were completed. Construction updates. They are doing the pressure washing in front of the wood shop in the fitness center on Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are still waiting on our final inspection. They're working on miscellaneous punch items from their walkthrough. The AC and wallpaper installation is in the spa. And then Health Peak and LCS are here today to review the progress from the fire. So here's where we're asking for your help. Now that construction's almost wrapped up, hopefully Blue Team won't be here much longer. The biggest piece of feedback that I hear from all the residents constantly is there's not enough communication. You feel like you do not get communicated with. But when we put together the Tuesday talk every Tuesday, we're struggling for topics. There's not a lot that's always going on to have this meeting every single Tuesday. But because it is our primary source of communication and what everybody relies on, to get updates, what is it that you want updates on? How can we communicate with you better? What is it that we can do so that you feel you're getting communicated with? So if everybody could think on that, give us the feedback either to myself, to Lindsay. We want to just make sure, everybody has different preferred methods of communication. Do you like the paper? Do you like the digital? Do you like the meetings? What is it that you want from us so that, you feel that you get communication? So then a couple updates to the community's events. We have the gourmet dinner on Wednesday. There is a Thursday night pop-up in the breezeway. Bella Row was a big success last night. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. We had perfect weather, so we will be doing that again on Monday the 6th. Make your reservations if you're interested in the pizza. Wednesday, we do have the RO Dance Night right here in the Grand Lobby South at 7 p.m. The Rural Forum was moved from this Friday to Friday the 10th. That will be here at 10 a.m. at the Grand Lobby South. And then on Saturday, February 4th, we do have the line dancing class at 11:30 a.m. here in the Grand Lobby South as well. And then just always remember to sign up for trips and get updates from the trip tables in the North and the South building. So again, a recap of Lindsay's schedule. She is here today, but then she will be out the 1st through the 5th. This will be the second wedding that she needs to attend for her best friend. And she will be back, and then hopefully no more weddings are in her future. That should be it, okay? And then, of course, forum was rescheduled for the 10th at 10 a.m. so that she will be here and can attend. And that is the end. So I'll open it up for questions. Hello, Roger.
I don't have a question, Betsy, but I do have a clarification
Okay.
that you brought to my attention. The two,
Can you talk in the microphone so people can hear you?
Way out here.
There you go.
The two maps that we've had in the last 2 or 3 weeks displayed in the lobby brought some questions. And it's primarily, people thought it was a political type map arrangement, and it's not. It's the people that are listed on that map are your state representatives for Florida. And they are elected in office now, and so there's no campaigning going on, at least in the traditional sense of that word, of phrase. There's 3 state senators, and then there's 7 state representatives. And because Regency Oaks is in the voting precinct 611, we have a state representative and a state senator who represents you directly. You get to vote on them every time there's an election for that office. And we are trying, I say we, Flagler Committee is trying to educate people for what's involved, because ultimately, unlike the other committees, we can go to the state legislature and have things changed on your behalf for how you live here in a retirement village. If there's any questions, let me know, but I want it clear that it's not a campaign map. Yes?
What are the names of the representative and senator?
Well, let's see. You got State Senator Nick DeCiglia. You did that on purpose. And by the way, as many times as you walk by those maps, what do you say?
I walk the
But-
other way.
You walk the other way. But just remember that you're walking past your representatives. Nick DeCiglia is our state representative, state senator for here. And the state representative for this district is a young lady. Dadgummit, I can't think of her name right now. Kim Burfield, there you go, Kim Burfield. Both really nice people, good people. You'd be glad to know them. And maybe someday we can bring them here for a quick meeting or some kind of question and answer period. But it's, again, an effort on the part of Flagra, our local committee that works with Tallahassee, to educate you, to make you aware of how all this is going to work so far as the legislature is concerned. And that's what makes Flagra a unique committee, because we're not an advisory committee. We hear people, we decide things, and then we submit them as a proposal for the state legislature to act on. And sometimes those things win, sometimes they don't, but it's an attempt to get more support from the legislature with respect to how retirement villages are operated. And it's always on your behalf. So it's a good thing for you to be involved and become aware of what's going on. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Roger. Got Bill.
Getting back to that slide about communication,
Yes.
a few weeks ago, Lindsay, and I applaud her for doing this, as part of this Tuesday talk is a section on follow-up. And I was interested, granted she was away this past week, but in terms of communications, I would suggest that follow-up sector be a continuous thing at Tuesday Talk, because without that, things get brought up and then they kind of get lost in the fog, if I may.
Absolutely. Yep, that's what we plan to do. That's unfortunately, she just hasn't been here to be able to follow up and have one-on-one meetings too.
I understand.
Perfect.
She was in the wedding.
Yep, thank you, Bill. Any other questions?
I have a question.
All right, we got Mickey.
Last night, around 4 o'clock, 4:15, alarm started someplace. It lasted 15 minutes. At 4 o'clock in the morning. What do I do?
At 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. How do you resolve the problem like that? What do you do?
I don't think so. What kind of alarm was it, Vicki?
Wake up alarm.
I have not heard anybody else report any kind of alarm that they heard, so we'll have to investigate what it was from, and then I can let you know.
Maybe it was his alarm.
Yeah. Do you have a cell phone alarm set? No. We'll look into that, Vicki.
Sometimes there's a smoke detector in your apartment, and that'll go off
Okay.
randomly.
Okay. So we'll have to find out if it could have been your smoke detector battery or something like that. Okay. And then I do know, I think everybody got the call-em-all yesterday. There should have been one. In our attempt for better communication, we were told at 5 minutes to 11 that the construction crew was going to start doing some testing that could possibly trigger the fire alarms to go off. So I immediately did that call-em-all to everybody so you guys would know. So again, we weren't sure, but I'd rather tell you and have it not happen than to not tell you and have it happen. So I think we still have a little bit of PTSD from the fire in the north, that it's one of those things that we all want to be aware when that's coming. So we'll continue to use that call-em-all, as a good resource to communicate what's going on in the community as well.
Question over here.
Have we talked about the completion of the new building? Do you have something that's close to when we may occupy it?
We do. I think depending on how today's inspection goes, what will happen is the new fitness center and the beauty salon and spa will open first, as they'll have like a partial occupancy license so that we can continue to use those buildings, because they're not a brand new build, so they fall under a little bit of a different licensure than the new town hall. So even if the new town hall is not ready to open yet, we'll hopefully have the new fitness center and the beauty salon and spa open here shortly. So we'll let you know as soon as we do have those dates.
Shortly.
Yes, shortly, coming soon, exactly. Yes, soon. All right, any other questions? All right. Well, I think that's it. Everybody have a great Tuesday.